And, a lot of what these folks in the big cities are dealing with, which is being covered in the news, is really getting pretty out of hand. We got a story from a friend in Chicago about how much it now costs to just make a reservation at a Chicago restaurant. They now have a per-person minimum for a lot of restaurants in Chicago. We checked this out. We looked into it. You got to agree to terms and conditions just to make a reservation. By the way, this is non-refundable. Reservations, $100 a person minimum to come to a restaurant. You're going to spend at least $100. By the way, that only counts toward food and drink. That you can't use any of that $100 toward taxes. You can't use any of that $100 towards tip. So it's going to be more than $100 a person minimum. And the story which came to us, it says, get ready for the $100 cheeseburger. But the question that really comes to mind is, why is this necessary? And they say, it's because of COVID. We had to do this because of COVID. Well, I mean, most of the restrictions have now been lifted. You could understand this maybe, a year ago when restaurants were at limited capacity. Of course, in Chicago, they might have been closed down altogether at this time a year ago. But when they were at 50% or 25% capacity or something like that, okay, you could understand a per-person minimum because they got to make money even just to open the doors. But now that they're back at full capacity and they've got a $100 a person minimum, pay up front. You got to pay up front a non-refundable deposit just to make a reservation. So for a family of four, you shell out $400 just to be able to go to a restaurant in Chicago, no matter what you actually want to eat when you're there. And it raises the question, how are these restaurants surviving before COVID? I mean, how are they even open and making money? Some people make a lot of money in the restaurant business. Most people lose their shirts completely. I think 85% of new restaurants fail within the first year. But some people can make millions of dollars if you get the right combination for the restaurant. It can become a money machine. And we've seen that here in the Bay Area with the Outback Steakhouses, with a Bonefish Grill, with PDQ. Pat George, you had some PDQ this morning. Some of those places are really doing quite well and making a lot of money, but a lot of restaurants fail. So $100 a plate minimum. Is this coming to a city near you? It's already in Chicago. I would bet it shows up in New York if it's not already there. And how long till it gets to a place like Tampa, Florida? And how long to those of us who are actually Floridians who've lived here our whole lives can't afford to go to a restaurant anymore because we're being basically priced out of restaurants, just like we're being priced out of the housing market by folks coming here from other states where they make a lot more money than us, and they're bidding up the housing prices, and regular Floridians.
That's a lot of tacos and refried beans.
I tell you, Pat, you're going to have to bring a tent, right? He's like, here's my sleeping bag because I'm going to need to spend the night if I'm going to be paying $100. This is going to be a long meal. Thank you for listening to the Morgan Streetman Show. We hope you enjoyed what you heard, and if you did, please click like and subscribe to help us out. And remember that we recommend that you exercise your brain at least once a week.